Hello everyone, Alyssa here. It is so wonderful to see all of you again. It has been a little bit of a while since I have posted something that is very current, as I have been taking some time to just rest and let some things percolate and grow, as for those of you who are really creative know that sometimes you just need to take a little bit of time with kernels of ideas and give them just the care and space for them to flourish. So that's a little bit of what I've been doing, and it has now opened up into what I am beginning today, which is a number of different series of pre-recorded videos, which will be a mix of me talking about some of my own experiences and practices, as well as relaying channeled messages on a number of different topics. And over in my private Facebook group, The Amethyst Cave, I will be restarting my Saturday lives, where I do live channeling for whichever being or beings choose to step forward. Likely, these live events will be at most just happening once a month, so makes it a lot easier for all of you to be able to make them. At most I might do twice a month, but likely it'll just be once a month, as I do have a lot of other videos that I would like to be doing in the meantime for all of you on a whole bunch of different topics. So what are these different topics? They are all about how to channel spirit, and then branching off into working with the divine feminine, working with the divine masculine, and then working with elementals. So those are the 4 different branches that I will be focusing on with all of my videos in the coming months, outside of the live channelings that I'll be doing over in my group, The Amethyst Cave. For those of you who are not on Facebook, you will still be able to watch my live channelings, as I will be posting them here to YouTube, as I have been doing always. But if you would like to have your questions answered, come on over to Facebook and join the group. Or if you don't want to join Facebook and the group, you are always welcome to put your questions below any of these videos in the comments, and I can absolutely ask them for you in any videos that are upcoming, whether they are pre-recorded or live. So, all of that housekeeping out of the way, today's video covers all of the different topics of channeling spirit, working with the divine feminine, working with the divine masculine, working with elementals. It essentially covers everything to do with the spiritual sphere, and that is belief. For those of you who have been following me for some time, you have probably seen some of my other videos and some of my lives where I have talked about belief, and I've channeled a number of different beings on the topic of belief. Today's video comes out of something that my guardian angel Randolph mentioned to me a couple weeks back. And it made me think about belief in a little bit of a different way, because for me, belief has been something that has always been there. Again, for those of you who have been following me for some time, you know that I grew up very, very connected with the fairies as a child. So believing in fairies, believing in spirit has always been just a part of my life. And although I lost it for a time in my teenage years and early 20s, it was very easy for me to come back around to it, just because ideas of fantasy and that whole genre have always been something that I was drawn to anyway. And so reconnecting with the idea that yes, fairies are real and you can communicate with them, you can hear them, you can see them, all of that's true, was not a difficult step for me. However, from many readings that I have done for people and people that I've worked with in mediumship classes, it's not always the easiest thing. And I totally get that, because we live in a 3D reality where we do need to work with the logic of the 3D reality, and that means that we do need to tap into our ego at times. But when it comes to working with spirit, you have to let go of that ego, you have to let go of that logic, and fall back into feeling. Feeling really is what belief is all about. And yet, sometimes with some people who I've worked with, it has taken them a lot of practice to get to that point of just feeling, of just that intrinsic knowing that you can't really explain or describe. It's just something that is internal, a little bit like how we all understand the sky is blue. There's nothing to debate about it, it just is. And what my guardian angel Randolph told me a couple of weeks back when I was playing around with how to approach belief with a particular client, he was like, hold up. Remember that in free will choice, there is no right and there is no wrong. There is only what resonates. So there is no right, there is no wrong. There is only what resonates. And what he meant by that, and what he went on to explain, was that we get so tangled up about putting things into boxes because that's how the 3D reality works. That's how we interact with the 3D reality. That's the way that logic makes us think. And in some ways, that because we're here in these physical bodies, we do need to think and we do need to be in order to move about through this reality. But it's then this hurdle that we need to just set aside for a time when it comes to connecting with spirit and remembering that although we're always so focused on who we are and what we're doing, what our purpose is, why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here? That's something that I always get in every reading. Is I always am asked to tune into what the person's purpose is and why they're here, what they're meant to do in a lifetime. And what Randolph told me was that ultimately doesn't matter. And in fact, if people stopped thinking about what their purpose was and why they're here and what they're supposed to be doing, they're more likely to actually move in the direction of what they're supposed to be doing, because they're going to get out of their own way. So it's that idea of the more you hyperfixate on something and you get obsessed over what is my purpose, what is my purpose, why am I here, why am I here, I have to make the right choice, what's the right choice, the right choice, the right choice, the right choice, you end up basically putting all these walls up and making life a million times more difficult for yourself than it actually needs to be. And in fact, the moment you just let go and you say whatever it is you need to say, so you put your intention out there, you put out into the universe what you want, or you state who you are, then it's going to come to you. It will come. Nothing in the 3D reality is going to happen like a snap, because that is just the 3D reality, and we do need to put in work, and we do need to repeat things over and over and over to basically build all of the little molecules together and turn it into this physical thing. But the energy is there. You just need to build on that energy so that it becomes a physical reality. But if you get too obsessed over it and have too much of a need to make things right and to be right and to be good, to be perfect, you're just putting walls up and you're not allowing the flow to happen. And that goes back to belief, in that belief is something you just feel. It is something that flows in and out like the tide of the ocean. And what I often use when I'm talking about belief with clients is getting people to tap back into their childhood and think about, what did you believe when you were a child? What was your reality when you were a child? And also tapping into the collective unconsciousnesses, the collective unconscious idea of childhood. So the symbols of childhood that we hold in the collective unconscious that some of us may not have necessarily literally experienced in this lifetime, but are part of the greater whole that each of us is. So whether or not your childhood beliefs and your childhood experiences were things that you really want to focus on, or that you think you had any beliefs that would help you in this present moment, at least even tapping into just what the symbols of childhood are, which are at heart innocence and imagination. And those two things tied together are what help the ego, what help logic to just be set aside and to just see, to feel with your eyes, to feel with your ears, to feel with your whole body what something is. And so, for those of you who do appreciate lists of things or practical things that you can tangibly touch and do, although this is a lifelong thing, belief is something that we live with, that we tune into, that we focus upon. Working on visualization techniques, on meditating, on just letting yourself imagine things, on dazing off and looking at the clouds and trying to find different figures in the clouds. And not even trying really, just seeing what is there. And whatever it is whatever it is. And saying certain truths to yourself, saying certain falsities to yourself, and then feeling how they feel within your body. Feeling how it feels within your body when you say things like fairies are real or Father Christmas is real, and yep, Santa Claus is real. It's really wonderful. Anyway, those are a few of the things that you can do. But most of all, the best thing you can do when it comes to belief is tuning into what resonates with you, what feels good, and tuning into how good feels within your body? Does it pull you up? Does it lift you up? Does it excite you? Does it make you passionate? Or is it something that you want to hide away, that you're not really sure about, that makes you have a sinking feeling in your stomach, that makes you feel almost sick or worried or on edge? Those are two sides of things. Those are things that resonate with you. Those are things that don't resonate with you. And tuning into that is your barometer for tracking where your belief is at, and tracking why maybe you have not yet overcome a hurdle that you wish to overcome in terms of your belief, of just knowing that you are spirit yourself and you are connected to all, and you can hear them, you can talk with them, and they can hear you too, and they're speaking with you all the time. Believe me, once you start tuning in more, some of them will not stop talking unless you ask them to. So when it comes down to it, it really goes back to what my guardian angel Randolph said, in that whatever you believe, know that there is no right, there is no wrong. You only need to tune into what resonates. Everybody is at a different stage. Everybody has a different resonance within them. Everybody is playing a different note on this grand piano keyboard that is our 3D reality. And so, what is meant for you is going to be totally different from somebody else. So tune into what resonates, and when you follow what resonates, you are doing all you need to do. It does not matter what your purpose might be, and having it set in block letters that you post all around your house. That doesn't matter. You can do that kind of thing, but ultimately, what will put you on the path that you need to be on, and what will keep you on that path, is just following what feels right to me. Not what feels right to others, not what others tell you what to do. Just follow that gut. And practice following that gut with everything from deciding what you feel like to eat for a dinner, to where you want to drive on a particular street or walk on a particular path, or what book you feel like reading, or what movie you feel like watching. Those especially, really tune into that and how the media you consume makes you feel, and only go toward the things that make you shine, make you passionate, make you excited, that really resonate with you. And so in that, you are building belief the more you focus on what resonates. So with that, I wish all of you a lot of fun with working on your belief and tuning into what resonates. In the following weeks, I will be alternating between videos having to do with specifically channeling spirit and practices that you can do to increase your ability to tune in to what they're saying, and working with them specifically, as well as working with specific beings that help you to become more balanced with the divine feminine and divine masculine that is in all of us, as well as coming into more balance with the earth herself, with Gaia herself, and all of the elementals who work with her, and who we are a part of as well, as we are here now in this moment, incarnated in an earthly body. So with that, I wish all of you a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and I will see you next week. Goodbye for now.